What is a struggle for all novice mountaineers?
Angelica and I live in a country where there aren't many easy mountains to climb. Pretty quickly, we encountered the reality of technical alpine terrain, forcing us to transition into more challenging ground. How did we progress towards climbing more technical peaks? Stick around as we share our story.
Unlike the serious mountain enthusiasts, we live in Auckland, the largest city in New Zealand. The biggest drawback, however, is that reaching the mountains is both time-consuming and expensive. The closest snowy adventure area on the North Island is in Tongariro National Park, called Mount Ruapehu. It's known worldwide as a filming location of famous Lord of the Rings, especially Mordor, featuring a prominent volcano Mount Doom. It takes 4 hours getting there from Auckland. This is our go-to mountain area.
There, we're honing 4 essential alpine skills for our upcoming climb of Mount Aspiring. One ridge has caught our eye at Whakapapa village, the Pinnacles Traverse. This is where we've chosen to sharpen our skills. We're at the public shelter in Whakapapa village, just setting out to climb under the Pinnacles Traverse. It's cold, it's the first day of spring, and I'm just expecting a very good day.
Navigating alpine terrain involves ascending and descending mountain slides, which is quite a step up from regular hiking. It requires some additional skills and gear, like crampons and ice axes, to handle steeper and icier slopes. As we transitioned to mountaineering, we discovered this type of activity required a better physical fitness and caution, particularly better cardiovascular endurance and leg strength. We had to develop the ability to hike uphill for extended periods and maintain balance and coordination on uneven and icy surfaces.
This is one of these disappointing moments when you kind of train the whole year, running your TKs every week, going to the gym, doing some exercises, and then you feel like a lame duck on a grade 1 slope because it's going so hard.
Every route requires a varying length approach, so we learned that we should be cautious not to tire out too soon. From Whakapapa village, it took us around 2 hours to climb up to the top of the Great Pinnacle via Broken Leg Gully and then onto the ridge. It was unexpectedly pleasing to realize that in some places where we used to need a rope,
That's solid.
we could now comfortably climb without it. Those ice bulges near the top were spectacular.
The view from the top of Great Pinnacle was amazing, with Mount Naruhoe and the entire Tongariro National Park's landscape laying before us. Sadly, strong wind made it impossible to fully enjoy the scenery.
This is the Great Pinnacle.
Relieved, we moved on to the next challenging task, a long 50-meter abseil into the gap between the pinnacles. It offered us good practice for another essential alpine skill.
Okay, the Dali found those links. There are like 6 of them, and they seem to be solid.
Because of the route's popularity, there were sturdy-looking slings there already set up as an abseiling anchor. However, following our safety-first mindset, we added extra security with a 6mm cord. Now, all we could do was hope that the rope wouldn't get stuck at the top, allowing us to retrieve it later. We often head to the mountains to face our fears, especially that uneasy feeling of being up high and exposed. For me, it's always nerve-wracking. Each time I step into a gap and trust my life to that rope, I can't help but pray it won't let me down. It might be because of my past when I had a major accident because of a rope failure. But hey, we'll save that story for another day.
Now we have a challenge to pull the rope down.
And if it gets stuck, guess who's gonna climb up to free it?
It won't be me. I believe we need to. Ooh, somebody is using our channel.
As I feared, a bit of a drama unfolded when we attempted to pull the rope down, and it stubbornly refused to budge. My head skipped a beat at the thought of having to climb back up that wall to free the rope. However, Angelica had a brilliant idea of pulling it from the other end, and thankfully the rope eventually came down. It turned out that the knot had somehow passed through the loop during the abseil. I was super glad I didn't have to go up.
As we continued towards the middle pinnacle, we encountered nothing out of ordinary, just typical New Zealand afternoon slopes with more Grade 1 snow walking. However, at one point we had to pull out a rope again for another short 15-meter abseil into the gully on the ski field side. After that, we climbed back up to the ridge and continued our journey through the beautiful ice bulges. And our ice axes and crampons successfully did the job.
So I decided to do a short pitch, climb this ice and rock.
Imagine you and your climbing partner navigating the stunning yet challenging alpine terrain. Rope work and belaying skills become your safety net, ensuring that you are securely connected even on the trickiest slopes. We now tackle more ambitious alpine terrain because we learn to trust each other and these essential techniques. Tying the right knots, communicating with your partner and managing rope drag are all crucial elements.
Hello.
How do you feel?
A bit scared for the last step. Look, it looks scary. We are doing a belay station.
Additionally, having a good belaying technique becomes essential for controlling your partner's movements and arresting falls, should it be the case. Climbing in view of Mount Doom is truly an otherworldly experience. For those who grew up with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it's a sacred place, a landmark of Tolkien's breathtaking Middle-earth. At some point I almost felt like a little hobbit on a mission to the scary Mordor. It is undoubtedly an unforgettable experience. In our climbing partnership, Angelica often takes on the role of the conservative safety expert. Perhaps that's one reason why we're still alive.
As we ascended the first pinnacle and approached the giant ice formations atop the crunchy volcanic rock, we both realized this was time to prioritize safety. Time to get creative with choosing and setting some snow and rock anchors.
This is an anchor Vitaly made.
Very dodgy.
It's really annoying, to be honest, because you have all of that heading right in the middle when you climb, when you do some technical moves. I don't know, is there any better way to do that? To collect those treasures?
Judging from experience, it's essential to find the right place for your protection points and anchors to the same time.
Alpine pitching is a skill that requires a lot of practice. We often spend at least 30 minutes on one pitch, which isn't super quick, so we still have a big room for improvement. After negotiating the first pinnacle, the rest was just a breeze. Ahead of us was an easy walkable ridge that eventually led us back to the snowfield above the Sky Waka Cafe. The mountain had already been closed for the day. There was enormous peace in that beautiful sunset.
If you are still here with us at this moment, you are not just a viewer. You are a fellow mountain soulmate who understands the magnetic pull of the mountains that keeps calling us back.
How did we reach this point? It took us around 6 years to progress from complete beginners to feel confident tackling more advanced technical terrain. Angelica had never climbed before 2018. She's always been this sort of typical city office girl with no outdoor skills. Our next mission is to climb Mount Aspiring, often called the Matterhorn of the Southern Hemisphere, which marks a brand new chapter in our mountaineering story. Stay tuned and we will keep sharing it with you.